as a visibility specialist, so 2 questions. As a visibility specialist yourself, how do you manage your own sort of energy, your own self-care, your own well-being? And the other question, which is a supplementary question, is how do you stay focused, positive and productive? Because it's a lot. You know, you design stuff, you speak, you coach, you mentor, you do courses. I know all this about you. So and you're a solopreneur, and you're doing it, you're living it, you're embodying it. How do you keep it going, Jenny?
So the first question about the energy piece, one of the components of that 4th pillar is using the time you've got. It's not time management. It's about using the time you've got. And a lot of people come to me and say, I want to start doing videos. I want to do this thing. I want to, you know, speak more. I want to do all the things. And that's great to have on your vision. But then they almost try and stretch time to fit it all in. That's going to lead you to a quick route to burnout. So I think the key there is to have a look at the time you've got. And I remember working with somebody who was a mum of 5. And she was hilarious. I shared with her, like, you know, have a look at the time you've got, and then let's just put things into the time you've got and still leave you white space. She's like, oh my gosh, this was so exciting. I told my neighbour, and we've got Hoover time, and we've got this time. And it literally is like this.
Saved her life, yes. I know, but you do need, listeners, viewers, you do need Hoover time. I just need to say that. You need to make time to Hoover the stairs. It has to be done, and it makes you feel so much better. There you go.
It does. But you know what? If hoovering doesn't float your boat, I mean, for me, housework, I don't mind hoovering, but every other bit of housework I really don't like. If that doesn't float your boat, the best use of your time might be to get a cleaner.
Yes, true.
You can go and do that. It might not be for everybody. Some people love it, some people loathe it, but being able to do that, because my one thing is, in order to be visible out there, if you turn up as like a burnt out kind of version of yourself, that's what the world is seeing from you. That's what you're showing the world. You're not showing them cool, calm and collected. So if things feel too much, then it's likely that you're doing too much, and you know, you'll need to order that. And then the second thing about being focused, here's the truth. You know, I've been in business for 11 years. Unlike some people that I've seen around me, I've never gone, oh, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to do that thing. I literally started my business 2010. I was like, I'm going to coach and train and make cakes and chocolates.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I found out within the first 2 years that as a business model, it didn't work for me. You know, 3 days on a 65 quid cake for, you know, 3 days worth of consulting at like 1,800 a day didn't kind of work out. So that meant that I was able to kind of to smooth that over in my business model. Other than sort of working through that and the evolution that happened in the first couple of years, I have always talked about visibility. I haven't added more things. I haven't gone for what I think makes the money. I've stayed in my lane. That's an important part of focus. And sometimes, and I can say this as a person who Anne Wilson, who's known as the Welsh chef, she talks about being octopus on roller skates. That's how I was, like all over the place. I needed to do everything. That's not focus. So when the going gets tough, focus in on the thing that you do. The other reason this is important is a majority of the people I work with do lots of things and they pull it all together. I'm not saying you can't do that. You can still do that, but if you don't focus, it's stressful. It stresses you out mentally, physically, and you know, in all other sorts of ways as well. It has you fall out of love with your business, with your profession and what you do, and it makes you just want to give up. And I don't want people to do that. I want them to experience joy while they're doing this. So number one, stop squashing too much in, and number two, stay focused. Do whatever it takes to stop those distractions, and including what you share in your business. You spread yourself too thinly and too far and wide, nobody understands what it is you do for them. So that's what I would say to those.
And do you do that personally?
Yes, I do. In fact, as we're recording this, in the run up to last month, I was under probably one of the most stressful times personally, I think, that I've been in for a long time, you know, and there were so many things I wanted to do. And it's funny because I was looking at writing something to my email list about this, but it sounded really morbid when I wrote it down. So I was like, okay, let me rework that. You know, in that, there are things you can do. Because I've been doing this for a long time and I have a core message, I could repurpose content. I didn't get to do all the things in my head or my plan that I wanted to do, but I actually had to take my foot off the pedal. And given that I was in the kind of last couple of weeks of promoting, you know, an online event, everyone will tell you don't do that. So there's a lot of time that I practice what I preach. There are times, and it doesn't even make me feel comfortable because I like to help people. But there are times when I recognize I don't have the bandwidth or the brain space. And people will be saying, oh, Jenny, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And they're not my clients. And I just need to kind of draw back in and conserve my energy levels. So I've had to get really good at being boundaried and doing that over the years. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm still in progress. And that's the biggest thing I think with being a business owner.